How's it going, Limit Break? It's been a while. We just did the Beelzemon Cup, and we did okay with this deck list. Um, we didn't win, but it did perform. It performed well, And that was just an all-purple tournament. So, but in testing this a little bit more outside of it, this is a really good deck, and I have not played purple at all this TCG. From set one, I played Red Omni Turbo, as you've seen the deck list, I'm sure. Set 1.5, it was bugs and bunnies, stun, green stun is what I called it. And then set 4, I played green OTK. Set 5, I think I played green OTK even more. And then set 6, I think I dabbled in security control. And then just moving on, I kind of stayed in the three colors that I stayed in was red, green, and black. Was kind of the decks that I stayed in. I did dabble in Imperial Dramon, in Arbor Form for blue. Excuse me. Alright. And then Gabu Bond a little bit as well. And Blue Hybrid until Tommy got hit. But now I'm dipping my feet into purple. And honestly, I don't know why it took so long. I really don't. I guess just there wasn't really a purple cards that really piqued my interest. Until I saw the Beals Advanced deck. So I'm going to give you guys a deck profile of some good cards that I like in the deck and what I used to run. As well as some tips and stuff and combos and extra things you can kind of run in the deck if you'd like. But moving on into the deck list, we play 5 babies. We play 4 of the new baby, which is when attacking, once per turn, if this Digimon is a wizard or demon lord in its traits, you trash the top 2 cards of your deck, which is really what this deck wants to do. You want to do a lot of self mill to pop your effects off, to get your grave number pretty big. Start popping off effects. So this 4 of the new baby. And then our 5th baby, just kind of for those long games, is beat the EX2 Yammon, where your turn, if there are 10 or more cards in your trash, this Digimon gains 2k. Just to give a little bit of extra DP to our little smaller Digimon. Thank you. Oh my god. As well as possibly making Beals stronger, or just makes things stronger. And 10 cards in the trash is real easy to get in this deck. Really easy. Usually turn 1, turn 2, I'll have anywhere from 10 to 15 cards in the trash. Okay, so that's our babies. Moving on to the rookies. There's nothing special about the rookies. We play 4 of each of the Impmons. The better Impmons for this deck, not the Impmon that is for Beelstar. Although you could run that one if you wanted to. So we play the set 2 Impmon on deletion, trash top 3. And then we play 4 of the EX2 Impmon that when this card is trashed, not by its own effect though, but when this card is trashed, you can mill an extra 3 cards, as well as on play, reveal the top 4 cards of your deck, add a Digimon with Beelzemon or an Iron Mako to your hand, place the rest at the bottom, and then on your turn, if this Digimon has Beels in its name, it gains 3k, so that's some more DP gain. Yeah, I sound like a T-Rex just now. Okay. And then our last Mon we play is the new one from the deck. When attacking, if you have 20 or more cards in your trash, you may Digivolve this into a Beelzemon from your trash for a Digicost of 3, ignoring its Digi requirements. So you could go from, if you have 20 cards in your trash, you can go swing, use this effect, evolve into a Beels in your trash for 3, and then you can just start popping off and doing some good stuff with that. But that's all of our Mons we play. That's all the rookies we play. We play the 12 rookies. Nothing crazy. Right there. Next is our level 4s, and I didn't see this card a lot in many of the decks that are floating around, but personally, especially in the Beals Cup event, I really like this card. Going against especially Beals mirrors and stuff like that, as well as just other purple deck shenanigans. I personally really liked the Porcupamon, or Porcupamon, I think I said it right, okay, which is a 4-cost blocker, and on play you trash top 2 cards in your deck. So sometimes if you play this and you trash a Wizard Bond or a Death Slinger, you can play this for 3 or 2 sometimes, and then it's a level 4, so you can kind of go right into your Balmon level 5s, which I'll get to in a moment. You can kind of just go into your level 5s a lot quicker since it's such cheap cost. And then it's also a blocker if you really need. Not many people played this card, I noticed. But personally, me, I love it because it's a blocker if you need it, or it's usually a cheap level 4 you could play on the field to go right into your level 5, and then sometimes go right into your level 6 as well. Then of course we play the 4 Wizardmon. When this card is trashed, gain a memory. Inheritable, when attacking, you may reveal a purple card in your hand, turn it to the top of the deck, and that's how you kind of you can legally stack your deck to make your trashing cards go off more. So for example, you could, if you crack this inheritable and you have another Wizardmon in hand, you can put it on top, and then if you have any milling effects, you mill, and then you'll gain the memory because you're legally stacking your deck. You're stacking your deck by card effects. Okay, and then a couple extra level 2s. I only play this at 2. This is where I'd see most people playing it at 4. I decided to go for 2 for 2 with the Pokemon. And when Digivolving, trash top 3. And then when the Digimon has Wizard or Demon Lord in its traits, gain 2K. You know, pretty simple. Pretty straightforward. And then lastly, we play our techs, I guess you could say. We play 1 Doberman, which is, we don't use the first effect. If you have Alice, it costs 2 less. We do play it for the deletion, trash top 3. On deletion, trash top 3. Then return a purple Digimon card or purple Tamer from your trash to your hand. So this trashes stuff, but also lets us recursive stuff from the grave. Which we have a couple of cards that do that in this deck. So if you trash something and it's in the grave, just remember, it's technically not really lost for good. You can always bring stuff back. And then our last one is Loemon, and that's our hybrid for game usually if we need to. You know, it's just in there in case we need it. Okay. And then next is our level 5s. We play 3 of the new Balmon. And it says, when Digivolving, trash top 3 cards in your deck, and then when Digivolving, gain deletion. If there are 10 or more cards in your trash, you may play a Beelzemon without paying its cost from your trash. Let me double check. Yeah. from your trash. Okay, I'm pretty sure I knew that was the effect. This is early in the morning, me doing this. I probably should have waited till I was awake a little bit more. And then lastly, and then of course it has the inheritable if it's a wizard or demon lord game 2K. We play the old, well I say old, but it's Bt11. Beelzemon when attacking trash up to 3 cards. And then on deletion, same as this one, on deletion, if you have 10 or more cards in your trash, you can play a Beels for free without paying its cost. And then for level 6s, we play 1 Beal Star. Mainly because it reduces itself for every 10 cards in our trash by 4. And when a card is trashed from your deck, you can be playing Digimon from your trash without paying its cost, and it gains Rush. And during your opponent's turn, when your opponent's Digimon attacks, trash the top card of your deck. So it helps us get some Digimons back on the field. They gain Rush if we're trying to really go for game with a bunch of little dudes. But yeah, so we just play her at 1. Because we can always bring her back if we need. And then this is where it kind of gets a little weird. And a little different from a lot of deck lists. I play 1 of this Beelzemon only because I only own 1. I should have kept this card and not traded the other ones away, because now it's like $15 and I don't want to, I don't know, personally speaking, I don't want to spend out the hype price. So I'm trying to pick more of this up from locals, people in my locals, but this is a really good deal. This would be 3 of in this deck if I had them. So when it's trash, you may play an Digimon without paying its cost, and then when Digivolving and when attacking, you may trash up to 2 cards from the top of your deck. Delete one of your opponent's Digimon level 3 or lower. And for every 10 Digimon you trash, you can increase the count by 1. So if there's 10, you can delete a 4 or lower. If there's 20, you can delete a 5 or lower, so on and so forth. And the other Beelzemons I play is these 2. This would be where these 2 more of these would come into play. They would take this slot right here. But this is what I have right now. So this is just the set 2 Beelzemon, the secret rare. If you have 10 cards in your trash, you can evolve it into an Digimon for a memory cost of 4. Which, I mean, it's a good card. I definitely utilize it. I may, even if I had 3 of these, I'd probably still find room to play at least 1 of this, just because it could go on top of any of your Digimons for 4 is pretty good. And then when Digivolving, delete one of your opponent's level 4 or lowers. And then now we play 3 of the new Beelzemon. And the new Beelzemon says, when Digivolving, trash top 4 cards. And all turns when a card is trash from your deck, gain 1 memory for every 10 cards in your trash. So if there's 10 cards in your trash, you gain 1 memory. 20 cards in your trash, you gain 2 memory, so on and so forth. And then when a card is trashed from your deck, this Digimon gains security attack plus 1. So he's kind of our hard hitter Beels. And then we play, which most lists that I've seen have played no more than this, but we play 2 of the new blast modes. We don't own the older blast mode, although I would probably try to find room for at least 1 of those in this deck. But when this is trash, you delete a level 3 or lower Digimon, and for every 10 cards in your trash, you can increase the count by 1. But ultimately, we use it for the when Digivolving. You may unsuspend this Digimon. And actually, it's not you unsuspend this Digimon, and then if you have 20 or more cards in your trash, you gain 3 memory. So you're able to swing, typically you're able to swing out with a Beels. Let's just say it's this one. You swing, and then you can go into this if you have it in hand, or from trash. I'll show you guys later that combo. But you could do this from trash as well with the Iron Mako from EX2. So you evolve it, it unsuspends, keeping the security attack +1 if you did gain it. And then you gain 3 memory, so technically you almost do it for free. And then you're able to swing again, you still have that security attack +1, and you're able to swing again. And typically this is your going for game type card. This is the Blitz Omni for Beelzemon, basically, is what I like to call it. Okay. And moving on to the Tamers, we play 3 of the starter Iron Mako. It has an on-play, look top 4 cards of your deck, add a Digimon with Evil, Wizard, or Demon Lord. Place the rest at the bottom, and then during your turn, when one of your Digimon digivolves into a purple Digimon, by suspending this Tamer, return 1 card from your hand to the top of your deck. So again, you get to legally stack your deck for cards that you want to trigger from your milling, and then gain 1 memory. And then secondly, we play 2 of the EX2 Iron Makos. This is our memory tamer, starts us at 3. And then when you attack with a Digimon, you may suspend this tamer to trash the top card of your deck. Then if the attacking Digimon is Beelzemon, you may evolve into a Beelzemon Blast mode from trash for 3. So this lets you go here if it's in trash. Lets you go here for free, for basically free, because if you add the 20, you'll gain the 3. So you paid the 3 on swinging here to go here, unsuspend, and then you trash the card, so you'll get the security attack +1, and then so he'll have the security attack +1, and then you're swinging with this, so it's restands, and you're already swinging. You do the damage, and then you're able to swing again because you unsuspended. You're able to swing again for more damage. So this Iron Mako, I would like to run 3 of this, but deck space is way too tight. 2 is fine though. 2 is all you really need. You can always bring it back with your like your Doberman and your Rivals Barrage when we get to that. Okay, we play 1 Dark Call from Darkness because it's only at 1. Delete 1 of your Digimon, then return up to 2 Digimon, purple Digimon from your trash to your hand. So it lets us get back any card we need, and so on and so forth, as well as proccing some of our deletion effects. So if we have, let's say we have this on the field and we have the 10 Digimon in trash, or the 10 cards in trash, we can do this to kill it, to play our Beelzemon, because if you have 10 or more cards in your trash, you can play a Beelzemon without paying its cost. So you'll play the Beelzemon, or if it's you hit the Doberman to trash the 3 and return a purple, or you can use it for Impmon, this Impmon, to proc its deletion effect. So you can proc your own deletion effects with this, as well as grab 2 cards back from the grave. And then we play 4 Death Slinger, because why wouldn't we? When you mill this card, when this card is trashed from your deck, gain a memory, and then delete 1 of your opponent's Digimon with 4 or less, level 4 or less, for every 10 cards in your trash, increase it by 1. And then lastly, we play only 3. I would love to play 4 of this, but we only have room for 3. And a lot of times 3 is all you really need. So this card is kind of weird. When you trash this card from your deck, you put it into the battle area for its delay later. Security is delete 1 of your opponent's Digimon with the highest level, and then if you play it from hand, you delete your opponent's Digimon with the highest level. But if you play it from hand, like most delay stuff, it doesn't go in your delay area right after you use it. The only time you get the delay is if it's milled from the top of your deck. You'll put it in the battle area for your delay later, next turn. If it's hit in security or you play it from hand, it just kills the highest level Digimon. That's it. But the delay effect is when you use the delay, you may return 1 purple Digimon or Tamer card from your trash to your hand. So this card lets us get back the entire deck. Calling lets us get back 2 Digimon. Doberman lets us get back 1 of any Digimon or Tamer that we have. So that's the deck list. It's really, really fun. Um, definitely, definitely takes a lot of thought. There's a lot of strategy involved. There's also a lot of luck involved. And personally, I don't know if I like the fact that luck, it runs on luck. I feel like if you have, um, the player with the better skill typically is the one that wins, is what I like to think. I know that's not entirely always the case, but I like to think that when you win because of your skill, not necessarily because of your luck. But this deck relies on a lot of luck. But I mean, it does take strategy. It does take strategy, but it also takes a lot of luck. Not to defeat anything from the deck, not to take away anything from the deck. The deck is super strong. It's just like, I mean, like, I guess you could say like any Digimon deck, things have to go right for you for it to really pop off. And I mean, that you could say that for any deck, really. But you really do definitely. The game is where you mill your Wizardmons, or you mill your Rivals Barrage, or you mill the cards you want to mill. You typically will win. If you mill what you don't want to mill, then sometimes it's a little tricky, and it's a little more back and forth, and it's a little more strategy involved. But definitely, when this deck pops off, it pops off. It gets crazy, and it gets crazy really fast if you start milling the pieces that really help you. But so moving on to a couple of other things you could play. Let me get this out of the way. Okay. So moving on to some things you could play. You could play the Beelzemon from BT6, the one for the Three Musketeers and stuff like that. On play, trash a card, return up to a 7 Great Demon Lords or a 3 Musketeers from your trash to your hand. You could play this, but I feel like the deck had enough recursion already that you really only didn't need to play this, so that's why I left it out. The third Iron Mako that sets your memory to 3. I would love to find room for this, but deck space is pretty tight. 2 is fine though. The fourth Rivals Barrage, I would love to play. Deck space is just too tight. And then, as I said before, you can, if you wanted to play 2 more of these, you could for the blocker. And then on play trash top 2, you can make it cheaper. You could play the other 2 witches instead of the Porkumon, or you could play another Dobermon, just to kind of really pop off your effects. If it's deleted, you can trash the top 3. You can add some stuff back. But this deck list, ultimately, I'm really comfortable with. I'm really, really good with, and this is good, man. Like, I'm so glad I'm finally dipping my feet into purple, and this is the first purple deck that I really, really played. I did build some sort of mill deck back in the day. Before, like, not the Gallantmon, but the Guilmon and the Growlmons, that mill was before that. It was like 4 creepy. It played the Magidramon that mills both players 5. It was weird, but it did not do good at all. It was definitely a meme deck. But this is just super powerful. It's super fun, and I'm honestly, I'm glad I'm finally dipping my feet into purple, man. Purple is such a good color. It's got so many good tools that are different from all the other Digimon decks that are out there and running. But yeah, give this deck a try, guys. Buy those advanced decks. They're really worth the money. The starter decks lately have been actually pretty worth the money. But this deck is so much fun. It's so powerful. A lot needs to go right, but it also takes a lot of strategy. You have to know when to take back the stuff, what card to put on the top of your deck, what card to add back, when you want something to get deleted and when you don't want something to get deleted. It does take a little bit of back and forth strategy, but this is Beelzemon, and it's really fun. And you know, it's so fun. Honestly, this is probably a deck that I'm going to sit with a little while going forward, especially next set. Next set it gets really good. It gets a lot of good support with the X antibody Beals. But yeah, this is probably this and Grandis is probably going to be my 2 decks going forward for competitive stuff. I do have Black War Gray built. I didn't want to give you guys a profile of that because honestly it looks like every other Black War Gray build out there. Now with just one of the Greymon X antibody, the dual color one that got limited. But honestly it looks like just any other deck profile out there that you guys can find. And I don't want to give you something. I don't want to give you guys a deck profile that you can just find 5 other Digi-tubers, making of on their channels. I want to give you guys something a little different. And while as this is very similar to a lot of builds, it's not identical because I do play this. I do play that Beals. Not many people do. So I mean, different things, different play styles and stuff. But ultimately, I hope you guys enjoy this deck profile. I love it so much. I love the deck. I love purple in this now. Like purple's been purple has eluded me for so long, mainly because there's no really decks I wanted to make that was purple. The Beelstar 3 Musketeers deck I did want to build until I saw how kind of expensive Beelstar was, and this was when Beelstar was really popping. So I kind of just put it on the back burner and ended up never making it. But just grabbing 2 starter decks of this, and you have a competitive purple deck, it's perfect. Pay $60, have a competitive purple deck, like it's great. But I hope you guys enjoy it. Until next time, I'm gonna break. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. It's been a while since I did this. I do got more coming for you. I got some matches coming that I'm going to be recording. I might do another deck profile of something soon, so be on the lookout for that. But until next time, I'm going to break TCG. Peace.